See, I feel highly entertained by Tinubu's rhetorics, the way he's dramatizing his own role, in Nigerian democracy. Luckily, we're all alive. He's gone. Luckily, we're all alive. We're all there. We're all, participants in that particular, sphere of political activity. So I was in the middle of it. Tinubu became relevant and noticeable after Abacha took over government. Before then, he was in the Senate, was the secretary of the party. And with all respect to him, you see, he was part of those people who were supporting Babangida's annulment of June 12. He was part of it. His own mother, Haja Mogaji from Lagos, was organizing Lagos market women to come to Abuja to pledge, support for Babangida. I'm saying this because it's simply history. I mean no harm. Don't mean to embarrass him.
Tinubu exposed. Sule Lamido says Tinubu back to June 12 annulment. What if the man celebrated as the face of Nigeria's democracy was never really part of the fight? Former Jigawa state governor Sule Lamido has just made a shocking claim on Allies TV. Bola Tinubu, the so-called hero of June 12, was actually among those who backed Babangida's annulment of June 1993 election. According to Lamido, Tinubu's democratic credentials are nothing but a political theater. He says, and I quote, "I feel highly entertained by Tinubu's rhetoric. He became relevant only after Abacha took over government. Before then, he was just a senator and party secretary." Lamido claims that during the heat of June 12, Tinubu was hand in glove with Babangida, the very man who annulled Nigerians' freest and fairest election. But it gets even deeper. Lamido accused Tinubu's own mother, the late Alhaja Abibatu Mogaji, of mobilizing Lagos market women to Abuja to show public support for Babangida after the annulment. He says this was a coordinated betrayal of the democratic movement right from Tinubu's inner circle. And
you see, I feel highly entertained by Tinubu's rhetorics, the way he's dramatizing his own role, in Nigerian democracy. Luckily, we're all alive. He's gone. Luckily, we're all alive. We're all there. We're all, participants in that particular, sphere of political activity. So I was in the middle of it. Tinubu became relevant and noticeable after Abacha took over government. Before then, he was in the Senate, was the secretary of the party. And with all respect to him, you see, he was part of those people who were supporting Babangida's annulment of June 12. He was part of it. His own mother, Haja Mogaji from Lagos, was organizing Lagos market women to come to Abuja to pledge, support for Babangida. I'm saying this because it's simply history. I mean no harm. Don't mean to embarrass him. But then you see, he was actively handing gloves to Babangida. Now, when Babangida saw the fact that, he was having a problem with the party, he went to the National Assembly to address them. One infamous speech was, they are trying to incite you. It is you they are against. Tinubu was there, and IU became very, very firm and straight on the issue of June 12. He called a meeting, then being the only senior elected person in government at that time, as a Senate president.
And what about Nadeko? Tinubu often presents himself as a frontliner in the battle for June 12 through Nadeko activism. But Lamido argues that Nadeko wasn't even about June 12, he says. Nadeko was a postulation to fight Abacha, not Babangida, not June 12. That means Tinubu only jumped into the struggle after the military reshuffled the deck, not when the real battle for democracy was raging. Is that heroism or convenience?
The president, he convened a meeting in Edo, in Benin. We went there with the governor, where we went there and reaffirmed our commitment to June 12. All right? Babangida was so angry with IU. When he came by, he removed him and put in a better arrow. a voter area, he put in there so they so that they can be aligned to political kind of machinations. So when Tinubu today, after being a Nigerian president, decided to rewrite history, trying to maybe deconstruct history and then rewrite it, then it is a very, very amusing because he was part of the Babangida support of June 12. He was part of it. Now, it was only when Abacha took over government that Tinubu then became a so-called activist of June 12. Not only all those who are talking about June 12 in Nadeko, I mean no harm, I mean no disrespect. I'm simply saying what happened during that time. All of them, those who were in Nadeko, where were they on June 11? They had no part in June 12. They are not part of June 12 campaign. They are not part of the June 12 activities. What they are never, because most of them are saying they should down look. All of them. Because they don't believe they won't work out. So when Abiola won the election, and then after the annulment, they are all very, very passive. But suddenly after Abacha came on board, removing Sonekam, they became activists. They formed Nadeko. Nadeko was opposed to Abacha, was opposed to election formation. Nadeko was something which was formed, to fight Abacha, not to fight democracy, not to fight for June 12. So whatever Tinubu is doing today is simply reconstructing history the way he thinks it's going to fit his own political interests. But then obviously he was a major supporter of Babangida. Ask Babangida. Ask him. So when you talk about, already June 12, who are those characters? Ere? Somebody who replaced Ayu for June 12? Who are the others? All of them. So he ran away. We stayed behind. We fought Abacha. I was detained, because of my fight, but I was detained. Really was detained. So all of us, Adamu Churuma, Bola Ege, Yoche Ayu, and many others, Bagaji, all of them were there. We fought Abacha. We fought him because we were willing to risk our lives. Tinubu ran away. He was not in the country. He only came back after the whole thing was, after the call was very, very clear. So what I'm saying is, all those advocates of June 12, they are more concerned with the bath water rather than the baby. They are more concerned because most of them were at the end of the meal. When the product was being processed, they simply picked up the product. The process which produced the product, they are not there. They're not part of it. They only pick the product. And today it's not about the victor, but it's about the victory more than anything else. So we make this kind of distinction. There is a difference between the victory and the victor. The Nadeko were more concerned with the victory than the victor. As far as they are concerned, in the bathwater they are trying to use, they are trying to hang on to their own kind of riding on top to reinvent, history in Nigeria. Otherwise, I feel embarrassed for the president, for the way he's talking, honestly. Ask anybody. Go ask anybody. We are all there. Ask Ayu, ask Jerigana. They are all there. Ask Langiwa. So, what is happening today in Nigeria is simply something very, very laughable. People, who had no political pedigree, who had no political history, who are not known as freedom fighters, are now at the forefront fighting for Nigerian democracy. It's so laughable.
This explosive interview has sparked major debate. Many are asking, was Tinubu really a Democrat at heart, or just another political opportunist? Did he ride the storm of June 12, or was he one of the quiet architects of its betrayal? Let's hear from you. Do you believe Sule Lamido's claim? Is Tinubu's democratic legacy a lie? Or is this just political bitterness? One thing is certain. Nigeria's political history is not as black and white as it seems. Subscribe to Chinick TV for bold truths, fearless questions, and voices they don't want you to hear.